Hey guys, thank you very much for joining this time. Again, sorry for the slight delay, but this topic is very important for me. So I was thinking about it for a very long time. I wanted to speak about it for a very long time because in my opinion, it's very important topic. So I wanted to be prepared. So sorry for the slight delay, but let's jump right into it. Today's topic is about immigration agencies in the Czech Republic, in if they are worth using. If you when you're moving here and you're thinking about all the things you need to do, if it's worth for you to use an immigration agency. Something's happening. Sorry for the pause. Something happened to my internet. But guys, do you hear me well? Do you see me well? All of you, please just comment or just like send a thumbs up or something. Because I'm recording at home in a very special conditions here now, a very special setup. So please let me know if you can hear me and if you can see me well. Yeah. I guess, yeah, okay, thumbs up. So I guess it's okay. Yes, Moira, thank you very much. Biok, thank you very much. Yes. Okay, so let's jump into it because I wanted to speak about this topic for a very long time because it's very important. But I always wanted to make it like very perfect and I wanted to be prepared and I was always postponing it. But here I am. It's better to start the conversation than not to do it at all. So, maybe for those of you who don't know me, first a bit about me and the company we've built with my partner to give you a perspective. I'll be talking a bit about us, but it's not to brag, but it's to show you the perspective and that I know a bit what I'm talking about. Okay. So my name is Jan, and I'm co-founder and co-owner of Move to Prague Relocation Expert, one of the leading agencies, relocation immigration agencies in the Czech Republic. Uh, we started when we were starting the company 11 years ago with Daria. We had nothing. We had no experience. We had no money. We had like nothing, but we wanted to help people. And we decided that this is going to be the way. And we started working on that. And now we're in the phase that we have 10 to 15 employees, depending on the season, and we have a stable like business. We have a very good reputation, and we've worked with about 10,000 people in the last 11 years. So we've had quite a lot of cases, and we have quite some experience with different types of visas and immigration matters. So that's just about the perspective. And the reason why I'm saying this is that when we were starting and we had no experience, no money, nothing, we were telling people, okay, hey, we know nothing, and that's why we charge that little money. We'll do our best, but we're just starting. And we didn't have any money in the beginning to pay someone to create a website for us. So we bought books and we wrote the website, we coded the website ourselves, so we read all the HTML coding and everything, and we did the first website on our own. And we were completely honest with our clients. Hey, we're starting. It's not even our full-time business. It's just something we would like to do. We would like to help you, but this is the situation. And people were fine with that. But now it's not like that, because now it's super easy to create an amazingly looking website. For $50, you can download the template from WordPress, and you can make it look like you are a huge company with million years of experience, and that you can do everything in the world because you download all the like nice pictures, so happy people holding their visas. You can download it for free from all the different like photo banks, and it looks like you're amazing and you're doing a great job. Unfortunately, this can be very dangerous for you as for someone who needs to use such services. So I want to go deeper into this topic and explain what are the different types of immigration agencies in the Czech Republic and what are the disadvantages and advantages of each of the types. Because I generally very much believe that immigration agencies are a great service, because if you're moving, if you want to get your haircut, you go to a hairdresser. You could do it yourself. If you watch some videos on YouTube and you read some blogs, you could cut yourself. You could cut yourself, but you could cut your hair as well. Maybe it would look good, maybe not, but it would definitely take you way more time, and it would definitely look way worse than if you hire a hairdresser to take care of your hair. The same with your car. If you have a car and something breaks down, you could repair it yourself, and maybe it will work out, maybe not, depending on the car and your experience and the time you want to invest. Maybe it will work out, but maybe the car will never drive again. So it's better to hire some professional who's been doing this as a business, who has experience with that, and who can help you with that. And I believe genuinely that this is the case in immigration as well, that if you're moving to a new country, you've never been through a visa process, there are so many things and so many steps that can go wrong, that is definitely better and safer to use an agency. But there is where the but starts, because you need to look for a good agency. So I'll now go through 3 types of immigration agencies in the Czech Republic. We'll go into the details. And yeah, hopefully this will be useful for you and you'll know what to do afterwards. So in general, there are 3 types of immigration or relocation agencies in the Czech Republic. First group is just like freelancers, people who do it on their own. I'll get to details later, but just like freelancers, 1 person, maybe 2 people working together, providing this kind of service. That has some pros, some cons. I'll go through it. And there are some bad ones and there are some good ones among those. I'll get to the bad ones mainly later, but that's the first thing. So then the second type the third type are the biggest international companies. In the Czech Republic, we call them the Big Four, and those are companies like Deloitte or PricewaterhouseCoopers, and those are huge. So they are generally all good. They cannot afford to be bad, but they're not really for everyone because they're very expensive. I'll get to all the details, but those are okay. So freelancers on one side, doing it just on their own, then huge international companies, mainly working for corporate clients. And then there is something in between. For example, let's move to Prague. Some like mid-sized companies, as I mentioned, we have 10 to 15 employees, depending on the season, who can provide like most of the services you might need, who have some experience, and who can provide you with everything you need. But again, there are good ones and bad ones. So I'll go through that right now. Guys, if you have any questions regarding this, please feel free to ask them. I'll try to make it interactive. Of course, this video will be left on Facebook and on YouTube. So you can always go through that and you can comment there. But if you have any questions here, please feel free to ask. Or if you just want to share something. Okay, so let's go to the first group, freelancers, freelance immigration advisors. There is nothing particularly bad about them. That's how we started, we were just me and Daria, and we wanted to help. So we started providing this kind of services. So in particular, there's nothing like bad about that. But the thing is that usually how people start with this kind of business is that they are either expats themselves, and they've been through the process of getting a visa, and now they think that when they did their visas for their own, that it's all good and they can give advice about it. And in many cases, it's also the way that there are 2 partners and they went through the visa process together as well, for one of the partners maybe. And then again, they think that now they have all the knowledge and that they can help other people with that. That can be pretty tricky, but this is how it is. Okay, so those are the freelancers, someone who generally went through the process themselves for whatever reason, and now they think they can share their knowledge and sell it as a service. So, of course, there are some advantages of this approach. The main advantages being the price, because if you're on your own, and if you have no idea what the business is about, because if you've done like one visa for yourself, or even if you've done the whole process to permanent residency, it was like 3 types of visas: your first visa, then your long-term residence permit, and then the permanent residence permit. So you've been through the immigration process 3 times. That's nothing. That has no value at all, because it's like very small percentage and it cannot relate to anything else. Even if you help maybe your friends or something, still your experience is very limited. So basically the advantage of that is very cheap, that those companies are very cheap, or freelancers are very cheap. because they first don't know what the services entail. They say, okay, so how much will I be charging for permanent residency? Okay, let's say 3,000 crowns. Then they sell it like this. And then only once they start actually doing the job, they find out that it's like a lot of work and that's probably not worth 3,000 crowns. But yeah, that's how it is. And you often can get a very good deal with them. Another advantage is that when people start like this as freelancers, they usually do it, or at least from our experience, they do it because they want to help. So services of such people, of such agents, are very personal. So if you're looking for like a very low price and personal approach, freelancers might be the best way for you, or the best option for you. Because as mentioned, they usually charge very small amounts of money for their services for many reasons, and they're usually very enthusiastic in the beginning. So if you're looking for this, that's definitely a good way to go. Disadvantages, though, there are many of those. Bianca, good evening, Mr. Young. Can we change job from company to agency in Czech Republic? Okay, I'll reply to this at the end of the live stream. So please stay with us, Bianca. So disadvantages of freelancers. The main thing is that they are just one person, or even if there are two people. So they have very limited capacity. They always need to take on new clients, because if you're on your own, if it's your own business, you need to feed yourself, you need to pay your rent, you need to pay the school for your kid, or whatever is the situation. So you always need to accept new clients. And at some point you reach your capacity and you cannot accept more, but you have to, because you need money. So this is a very big problem. And we actually got many clients like that they started with someone who was cheap. And in the beginning, everything was everything looked very nice. But then they stopped replying, or they reply once in 7 days or once in 10 days. And that's kind of very dangerous. If you, for example, come here using your 90 days and you only have 90 days to sort out your visa, and your agent only replies once in 2 weeks, that's not really good. So we actually got many clients like that. And it unfortunately goes with that, because if you're just you on your own, there is only some limited capacity, some limited amount of people you can service. That's one thing. Another thing is, since there are only one or maybe two people working in the company, what happens if they get COVID, for example? Okay, so if they get COVID and they have to be at home for 3 weeks, 1 week with COVID, the actual sickness, and then 2 weeks of quarantine. What happens with your visa? You're stuck. They cannot go anywhere because they cannot leave their house. And what will you do? Again, that's another big disadvantage in my opinion, because if they are just one person, what if they break their leg, or what if they want to go for vacation? What happens to your visa when they're gone? That's a very important question. Then another disadvantage of that is that they often fuck up, because that goes with that. If you have no experience, if you've done 1 client, 5 clients, 10 clients, even 20 clients, you will fuck up. We did in the beginning as well, not much, and we were very open about it to our clients, because we told them in the beginning, hey, we are cheap because we don't know what we're doing. And they counted with that. But if you pretend that you're a huge company and you know everything, and then you do some fuck up, that's a different story. But fuck ups happen. Then the question is how the company or how the freelancer reacts to that. And what often happens, of course, then it's the difference between a good and bad company or a freelancer. Because there are good ones. There are good ones which take it seriously and really they charge fair amount of money. They only take the amount of clients they can service, so they don't get to the situation that they don't have capacity to deal with you. So, and there are good ones like that. Don't get me wrong. This sounds like I'm only talking about disadvantages, but there are good companies or good freelancers doing this. But there are also those who don't realize, who just start the business and they don't know what it entails. So they start charging very low amounts. They need to get so many clients, because if you charge a little amount of money, you need to have so many clients to pay for your rent and for your basic needs. So they need to do it like this. And then they are stuck under millions of clients, which they don't have capacity to work with and reply. And that's not good for them. And it's not good for you either. So that's the main thing. And what I've often seen happening is that people started like that, seeing, okay, we will do this as a business because we've done my own visa. Let's do it. And they start, and then they end in like 3 months, 6 months, and they just leave like this, and they don't do anything about their clients. So just they leave them hanging. That's actually how we got some of our corporate clients, or like companies, not corporates like huge, but like middle-sized companies, because they had an agent, and then the agent just decided to quit and like not deal with immigration anymore. And then if you are in the phase when they quit, if they're dealing with your visa at the moment they quit, what will you do? You know, you're in the middle of process with someone who stops replying and then eventually tells you, hey, I'm gone and I'm not doing it anymore. And there is no accountability for them, because what you will do, like you pay them 500 crowns or you pay them 3,000 crowns, will you sue them for that? You spend more on the court and you will never get the money anyway. That's how the courts work in the Czech Republic. So these are the downsides. So if you're looking, the first thing I would recommend, if you're looking at immigration agencies, check how big the company actually is, if it's like 1 person or 2 people or 10 people, and how they react. You know, how fast they respond to your first message, how fast they respond to other messages, and check this, and you will understand if the company is good, or if the freelancer is good, or if they're bad. So, you know, money is good, saving some money is good, and everyone wants to do it in all spheres of life. But sometimes what happens is that when you hire someone bad, like a bad freelancer, you pay their fees, then they stop working on your case, and you need to hire someone else to finish the process. So you actually pay double, and you just wasted your time, and you've lost like 2 years of your life, at least, like in the stress levels. So just be careful. I'm not saying that all the freelancers are bad. We started like that. But as mentioned, we were completely honest to our clients. Hey, we're just starting. We don't know what we're doing. We'll do our best for you, but we cannot guarantee anything. And that was fine. If someone tells you, hey, I know everything, I've been everywhere, and I've done million cases of everything, be careful. Okay, so those were the freelancers and the first group of agencies in the Czech Republic. Then the second one is the big international companies. As I mentioned, we call them the big 4, Velká čtyřka in the Czech Republic, and that's Deloitte, that's PricewaterhouseCoopers, and 2 more. And those are great. Like, those are all good. If you hire them, you'll be taken care of, because they cannot afford to be bad. You know, they mainly work for corporate clients, for huge companies, huge corporations. So they need to provide a good service. Great advantage of that, of working with such company, is that they have the highest possible standards. They work for corporate clients, and the standards there are somewhere completely different than when you work with private clients. That's just how it is. So the quality of service, definitely very good, very high, and the best you can get. Second, since they have like so many clients, they have so much experience, so you will be really well taken care of. So that's very important. And if this is the most important for you, then definitely big companies like Deloitte, PricewaterhouseCoopers, those are very good choice for you. They also have a global reach. They have branches in basically all the countries in the world. So if you need to move yourself from like whatever country to whatever country, they can always help you to Prague. Cannot do this now. We can move you to the Czech Republic from all the countries basically that exist. We have experience with like 100 countries, 100 different nationalities. But if you want us to move you to somewhere else, to Germany, or ask us some questions about moving to the Netherlands or moving to Canada, we don't know, because we don't deal with that. Big companies like PricewaterhouseCoopers, they do deal with that. They do have this experience. If not, they have their like teams of lawyers they can find out. So definitely, if you're looking for the highest possible quality of service, global outreach, then those big companies are the good choice for you. They also have usually big capacity. So if one of, let's say one of the person who is assigned to your case gets sick or want to go for a holiday, they have another 10 employees who can take care of you. So that's definitely another advantage. So if you, okay, maybe now the disadvantage, basically, I would mention 2 probably. First, definitely the price. Because, for example, PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and Deloitte, they charge like 4 times more than Move to Prague relocation services, for example. So you need to be ready that for the level of service, you also need to pay the price on the same level. And second, maybe because they mainly work with corporate clients, the approach is kind of like a bit colder from our experience. The job is done, but you don't like really feel like they cared, you know? They did it. They did it perfectly. You had the best coffee they could offer. You were sitting in nice offices all the time. You had the most possible standard you had. Just maybe the personal approach was a bit missing. But generally, if you have the money, those big companies are definitely a great choice. And now the most important topic, in my opinion, because we've so far been through the freelancers who do it for very low prices, which might be advantage for you. On the other hand, it also has the downsides, such as low capacity and long response times, and what happens to your visa if they get sick, for example, and there are only one person in the company. So what happens then? So that was the first one. Then we discussed the second group, which are the huge international companies like Deloitte, PricewaterhouseCoopers, which have the highest possible level of service, but they also charge the same amount equal to that. And now we're going to something in between. So those are the let's say, proper immigration agencies, or something in between freelancers and the big four. Usually those are companies who've been on the market for some time. They've been established. They've been here for 10 years or 15 years or 8 years or whatever. They've been on the market for some time. So they've seen some shit. They usually also have, or usually, the companies I'm talking about, they have employees. Because if they didn't, they would be the freelancers from the first group. So they usually have employees who can take care of the clients. And with that, there come many advantages. For example, experience. Because if you hire a freelance agent to deal with your visa application, their experience is what? 10 clients, 20 clients, 50 clients, 100 clients if they've been in business for a couple of years, but they have limited capacity. So they cannot, even if they wanted, they just cannot have much experience. And they usually, from our experience, they also focus on like one type of visa or one type of residence permit, because that's the easy thing. They know how to do that. So if you ask them some other questions, they usually don't really know. Companies like this, like the mid-sized companies, they usually have experience with hundreds or thousands of clients from different spheres, different nationalities. As mentioned, for example, we at Move to Prague, we've worked with over 100 nationalities. So we have experience with different embassies, different nations, like different documents, apostilles, all this. Plus, we've done almost every type of visa and residence permit imaginable. So whatever you need, whatever questions you have, we are very likely to answer. Of course, we don't know everything. We don't, for example, work with asylum seekers. Some types of visas are not that frequent. For example, cultural visa. In the 11 years, we've done maybe like 4 or 5 cultural visas. So we don't have that much experience with that, but we have some, you know, and we've at least heard of that, and we've been through that process a couple times. And if we combine it with the experience with other visas, we can get kind of good idea of what's going to happen and how to approach the case. And that's the advantage of the mid-sized companies, that they already have enough experience so they can help you in many areas of the immigration. That's also another thing, actually, that they are usually able to provide more services. So, for example, in Move to Prague, we try to be like one-stop shop. So if you call us, we can do everything you need. So we can find you a flat, we can get you a visa, we can get your family here, we can get you health insurance, we can help you get a parking permit or exchange your driver's license. So you don't need to contact like million other companies one company to find a flat, another company to deal with your visa, another company to deal with your health insurance. You can do everything in one company. So that's another like advantage of the mid-sized companies, that they have experience not only with visas, but also with other spheres of the relocation business. And third thing is that since they have employees, the services are not dependent on one person. So if you're, for example, if you go through Move to Prague, You pay for our services. We assign you to one of our visa advisors. So you'll be working on your visa, for example, with Lisa. But then Lisa, for example, breaks her leg and has to be at home for 2 weeks. So what happens is that we reassign the cases. We reassign your case to someone else, to Adam, for example. And Adam will take over from Lisa, and they will continue working on your case. So it's not like in case of freelancers that if they break their leg and they need to stay at home for 2 weeks, you're fucked because there is no one else to take care of you. So that's another advantage of like the proper immigration companies, immigration agencies, like the like mid-sized companies, let's say. Disadvantage, I would say maybe the price, because obviously if you need to pay your employees, you need to pay offices, you need to pay like even the like. I've been finding out this, or we've been finding out when we grow, or as we grow, that for example, how much you actually spend on toner or ink to your printer. That's a huge amount of money. Just the printer and the paper every month, how much we pay for that, it's crazy. But that goes with the clients. We are happy for that because that means that we have enough clients and that's the business is going well. But it's a huge difference between when you're a freelancer having like 2-3 clients or 10 clients a month taken care of, and then when you have like 50 clients or 100 clients a month and you deal with those. So you need to cover, if you're a company, you provide higher level of service, more experience, like more wider range of services, but you also a higher comfort, because many like of the freelancers, for example, they meet with you in a cafe. They don't even have their office, which again, it's understandable. We were starting like that as well, but it's not really a comfort. If you want to go to their office, where is it? And where they store your documents. Like if you give them passport, where is it? Is it lying in like their catnip in the hallway in their house? So with bigger companies, you get bigger level of comfort, but also this needs to be paid for. So the cost of office, cost of employees, cost of the printer, coffee, everything that needs to be covered in the service price. So mid-sized companies, including us, Move to Prague, relocation experts, we will never be the cheapest. And if you're only looking for a cheap price, that's definitely not the good choice. The international companies are definitely not a good choice. And you might go for a freelancer and that will be a perfect fit, because if the price is important for you and they offer lower price, that's fine. You just need to expect also the downsides, which might come with it. Might not if you choose wisely, but might if you don't. And how to recognize a good immigration agency from the mid-sized ones? It's difficult, because if you're already big enough, you have some money, you can maintain your website, and you have nice office, and you have people who deal with clients, so you can provide good quality of service generally. But there still might be some, there is a difference between good ones and bad ones. So you should be aware of something, so you can kind of decide if this one is a good one or not. So first, the good ones generally care. You're still, because if you're running a company, you need to focus on money in a way, because you need to, as I mentioned, you need to pay the office, printer, employees, all this. So you need to focus on money. You need to be making some revenue to maintain this. But then there is a difference if you do it at all cost. If you just see your clients as numbers and you just don't care, you just need the numbers and that's it. Or if you still put the touch, the personal touch there. So I believe you can recognize this from the very first email, how they approach you. First, if they like, what feeling do you have? Like, do you feel well? Do you feel like that they answered all your questions and that they genuinely care about you, or you're just like copy paste answer, just pay our service fee and we'll take care of you? That's the first thing. Second thing is also how fast they reply. Because generally, if you're a bigger company, if you have employees, then you should be able to reply fast. Because if you're a freelancer, you first need to deal with the clients you're taking care of. Then maybe you post some ads, and then maybe you reply to your new clients. So there is always some delay. Companies who are like proper companies should reply faster. So check this as well, like how fast after you send a request, how fast they reply. Is it what you expect or it's not? Would you like them to reply faster or not? So that's another thing, how you determine the good one. So first, they genuinely care, which you can feel from the very first email they send to you or the very first phone call you make. Second, how fast they react. That's very important, and especially in today's time, because everything is fast, so replies need to be fast as well. And there are also bad companies, which you will also recognize easily. First, they do completely opposite than what I was talking about now. And second, yeah, but that's basically it. Like they reply slow. They don't really care about you. They don't personalize the emails. They only focus on money, like pay now, otherwise we will not speak with you. So yeah, that's about it. I hope this was helpful and this gave you some idea about how the immigration agencies work here. And I think it was very important to share. So if you guys liked it and if you liked some of the ideas, please share it, because I've seen this really many times, that people hire the cheapest. They write or call to several agencies. They ask about the pricing and then they go for the cheapest one. And I've seen this happen in many times. That they, for example, I remember the person personally because I reply the email, send the price and all this, and I never hear from them. I follow up, say, hey, how did you like our price and everything? And they never reply. And then, like 3 months later, they come back to us saying, hey, I've hired someone. They fucked up my visa. Now I'm like past my 90 days and I have no visa at all. What should I do? And then, I mean, we'll be happy to help. But first of all, you've just lost a couple of months of time, which you could have used better. Second, you will need to pay for our services as well. So you'll basically pay double, even though the first company was maybe cheaper, but they didn't do the work. And second, when you fuck up your visa the first time, or you're in the middle of the fuck up, it's very difficult to deal with that, you know? So I often don't even accept such cases for move to Prague. When I see, hey, someone else started my visa process, I'm here and here, and I want to change. So I tell them, hey, I'm sorry to hear about your situation, but like sorting out someone else's fuck up is even worse than just like do the fuck up. So we don't really want to work with you because we cannot really, we don't know what the person told the ministry. We don't know what they sent to the embassy. And if we like say something which doesn't correspond with the previous story or the original story, it can be even bigger fuck up for you. And we have no way to prevent that because we have no idea what your previous agent did or did not do. So I often even have to refuse such cases because it's just not worth for any of the sides, because it would only create problems. So this was something important I wanted to talk about. I wanted to bring attention to this because now it's very easy to build a website which says, hey, we've been everywhere, we've seen everything, we know everything, we can get you your visa in 3 days, any type of visa from any country, hire us, we'll do it. And then you hire them and nothing happens. And we've seen it really like many times. So I just wanted to discuss this, bring it to attention of people, and hopefully help change it. So guys, now Biok, I'm not sure if you're still online, but if you are, so good evening, Mr. Jan. Can we change job from company to agency in Czech Republic? Unfortunately, that's not possible. If you came here under an employee card and you want to change your employer, the new employer cannot be an agency. You cannot be even like an employee of the agency, so meaning not a deployed employee working for someone else under the agency's name, but you cannot be even working under the agency's name itself. Like you cannot be a director of the agency. You just cannot change your job to an agency if you have an employee card. So that's it, guys. This was a very long live stream. I had a comment actually on under one of my YouTube videos just like earlier today saying, hey guy, hey Jan, your videos are great, but they're so long, I lose attention. And I promised that I would do something about that. And you see it's like 35 minutes already. So sorry for that. But this was a very important topic, and I'll be sharing bits of it everywhere because I think it's really important to bring attention to this topic, because money in this field or saving couple $100 is not usually worth the bad things that can happen on the other side. So guys, if you have some questions, please feel free to ask or feel free to share them right now. Otherwise, I will just like awkwardly dance, as you know already, and then I will leave in like half a minute or so. Okay, so Moira could hear me. Then I see how many people were watching. So thank you very much, guys, for following and for watching. And if you don't know that, I also have TikTok, I also have Instagram, and I share shorter versions of these videos, like information-packed videos on those platforms. And I come live on my Facebook group and on my YouTube every Monday and Thursday. So if you're interested in moving to the Czech Republic, or you need to deal with something in the Czech Republic as an expat, this might be very helpful for you, very, very beneficial. So follow me everywhere. And get in touch if you need any help, of course. So thank you very much, guys. Have a lovely evening and see you on Monday. Bye-bye.